Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Matty Ice, the Call of Duty Magician, and today I've got a 40 gun streak for you guys on the map Sovereign. This could actually be one of my higher gun streaks to date, but hopefully you guys enjoy the gameplay and the backgrounds. Now, today I don't want to talk about the gameplay at all. I actually had kind of an interesting topic that I'm really surprised I never talked about on my channel, and it's alcohol. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm in college, and definitely I have my fair share of alcohol in college, and I wanted to make this commentary for you guys mainly to answer your questions. And I know most of you guys probably aren't in college. Most of you guys might not even be old enough to drink. I know a lot of my subscribers are probably 13 to 17 or 18 years old, so you're not legally able to drink in the United States yet. But I do know that you guys are in high school, that you might be in scenarios where you might see some alcohol, and I wanted to give you guys some tips. So don't take this as, oh, Matty Ice is suggesting these kids drink alcohol. Not at all. I wanted to give you guys a few tips on if you do run into the situation, or if you do make the decision to drink underage, that you wouldn't end up killing yourself. So I want to give you guys some good advice. Now, I know a lot of the time, adults will say certain things, and you never really know if you can trust adults, if they're being too cautious, or if they just don't want you to drink at all. But I wanted to give you guys some tips. I wanted to give you tips from my experience drinking. I'm in college, and we drink all the time and have a great time. And so in no way do I endorse underage drinking. By the way, I do not endorse it at all. But I did want to give you guys some tips just in the case that you did decide to drink, or if you were in a scenario where you were going to drink. So that's enough of that. So I wanted to give you guys some tips on what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And honestly, it's kind of annoying hearing parents and adults say certain things that definitely aren't true in practice. It's kind of like in theory it's a good idea, but in practice it's not all that practical. So the first thing. Now, a lot of the time you'll hear people say, oh man, I was so drunk last night, I was so blackout. And in reality, drinking a ton, I mean, it can make the night more fun as you go on, but you need to know your balance. You need to know your limit. Once you get to a certain limit, you're going to start getting the spins, and you're going to feel really bad. And getting the spins is awful. It doesn't feel good at all. You just feel like, I don't know, you feel like you're just kind of falling, and you have the spins, and you will just feel horrendous. It's not a fun feeling at all. And so you have to get to the point where you're right before the spins. You're definitely very drunk, and you're having a good time. You're maybe even a little reckless as well. I mean, because you got to have a little fun with life, right? But you don't want to get to the point where you have the spins, you feel awful, you feel like you're going to throw up, you feel like just the world is kind of closing in on you, because that is a really bad feeling. It feels like crap. And, people will exaggerate like, oh man, I had the spins like last night, like trying to sound cool, but it really does suck when you end up drinking too much, and you either have to throw up, or be kind of laid down because you feel like crap. So that's the first thing. What you want to do is you want to pace out your drinks. And I know this is something that adults might say, that you might say, who cares about that? But it really will help you have a much more fun night. Like if you pace out your drinks and you have 2 to 3 drinks every hour, or one to two drinks is probably a better gauge, 1 to 2 drinks per hour, and space out your drinks, then you'll have a much more enjoyable evening. You'll still get pretty much equally as drunk, but you just won't get the spins. So trust me, pace out your drinks. You will thank me later. Trust me, it really helps out so much. So that's the first tip I can give you guys. Now, the second tip I can give you guys is that you should also learn how to have fun without drinking alcohol. Like, some people are so dependent on alcohol. Where I go to college, people will say, oh man, tonight sucked. There was no alcohol. We just didn't drink at all. It was so lame, or whatever. And you have to learn how to have fun without alcohol. People use alcohol as their excuse to loosen up, as their excuse to just, do whatever. And in reality, if you have a personality where you can be a little more loose anyways, then that will let you have fun no matter what. So, just learn to have fun with alcohol. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3 would be, I know adults really say this a lot, but do not get in the car with a drunk driver. Like, try to find someone who hasn't been drinking at all. And in my case, I live close to home at college. My college is really close to home. It's like 8 minutes away, but I live at college. And some occasions I have called my mom to pick me up. I've said, Mom, I need a ride home. I need a sober driver. Can you come pick me up? And one time it was even at 3 a.m. I had to give her a call because I needed a ride home, because I didn't want to drive home drunk. So I gave her a call, and she wasn't mad at all. She was very happy to come pick me up at 3 a.m. And you know, I mean, I guess she wasn't the happiest camper of all time, but she was much more happy than me making the decision to get behind the wheel, or let someone who's drunk get behind the wheel and potentially, you know, cost me my life. So overall, I don't know. I'd have to say, just with anything, you have to do it in moderation. Don't go overboard. I mean, yeah, I have had those weekends like anyone else where you have to learn your limit. You've definitely thrown up a few times, and I've thrown up a lot. And, you know, it happens, but definitely try to pace yourself out. That is the one thing I have really learned. Pace yourself out. Try not to drink it all in 1 hour. It's very tempting to, but just pace it out. And try to not to vary drinks too much. Don't switch from rum to vodka to jungle juice to beer. That will also really mess you up and will probably end up with you throwing up. Now, the last tip I have to say, drink a ton of water. Even if you don't think you have to drink water, drink a ton of water. I have literally only gotten a hangover once, my first time ever drinking. I got a huge hangover, and from then on, I forced myself to pound down 2 water bottles before I went to bed, and 2 water bottles when I wake up. If you do that, you will feel absolutely magnificent. There's nothing worse than waking up with a pretty bad hangover. But if you guys have any questions on alcohol, please leave them in the comment section down below. Let me know if there are any other commentary topics like this that you want me to cover, because I am in college. I've had a little bit of life experience behind me, so I can probably answer some of your questions. But that's the end of the video, guys. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Once again, my name's Matty Ice, the Call of Duty Magician, making myself disappear. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.